Guys, welcome to, well, part 4 of the Cross RC XX10 T-Rex Build and Run series. As you can see, it is a little bit dirty, but we will get onto that in a bit. If you haven't seen parts 1 to 3 yet, then you can either watch them after this, you can go and watch them now, or you can just not watch them. But basically this is a 1/12 scale, 10-wheel drive, 10-wheel steer, land train. This cab is from a locomotive. And just something to compare it to, this is also 1/12 scale. And if I sit that next to there, you can see how big this thing is. It is an absolute monster. I recently took this to an event in the UK called East, the East Anglian Scale Trail. Absolutely awesome event, very muddy. Yeah. Oh, he's got it. That's it, leave it there. That's right, I'll drive it from there. Yeah, it should, well, should. Wow.
Well done, lads.
Oh, he's had me, he's had me. And I will show you shortly this doing a little bit of trailing, going through some mud, doing a sled pull, and then we'll discuss why at the moment it's my $5,000 disappointment. But before you see that, we're just gonna roll back to the final prep for this before East. The stuff I spoke about at the end of part 3, getting the wiring sorted out properly, swapping the ESCs over, fitting some lights, fitting a sound kit. It nearly ended in a total loss, twice. There's been a little incident with the Cross RC. An incident that has involved me running to grab my fire extinguisher and putting some flames out.
Remove safety clip.
Don't look at my feet!
Fire. Fire.
And if you add smell-o-vision now, it absolutely stinks of electrical burning. I was just changing the ESCs to these Hobbywing ones, and I thought, oh, actually, to save on some wiring, it's a good idea to hardwire the ESS1 speaker in there. So it's mounted neatly in there. I'd ran all the wires through, hardwired it in, plugged it in, heard some crackling, which I thought was just a bit of interference on the speaker because I hadn't switched the BEC or anything on. Then I heard that very distinctive and then smoke, more crackling, followed by flames. Keeping my fingers crossed so when I take this off, it's not destroyed all the wiring in there, because all the lights are in there, the gun control, everything is under here. So getting this ready for the East event, if I've destroyed it like a week before, I am not going to be happy. As you know, it's taken me so long to get to this point. This could be disaster. Praying that it's not done too much damage. I don't really care about the sound box. I've got a spare one. This couldn't have happened at a worse time. A week before I've got to take it to an event that I wanted to showcase it. Right. Usually at this point I'd be like, drum roll. Not today. I don't want a drum roll. I want it to be not destroyed. Whoa. Oh my word. Oh, actually. Oh, we might be safe. Right, that's the light control for the rear lights. Oh man, look. No. I think, apart from it being, well, a mess up there, it looks like we're safe. It looks like that's just smoke damage. It's melted the power into there, but we've got enough cable there, I might be able to save it. Right, I'm going to remove all this mess. I'm not going to bother trying to clean all that there, but let's see what I can do. So I repaired all the cables, checked that the lights work, plugged it all back in again, and of course, I didn't have the cameras rolling, and well, yeah. This is not going very well, is it? I've just plugged it all back in again, and then the ESC went up in smoke. What is going on? I don't know why I'm laughing. I literally just had to rip it out there and throw it on the floor. You can just probably see all the smoke in it. Jeez. Right, this is annoying me now. Now this is really annoying me. Why did the ESC pop? I saw like a little spark in there or something, and then it just went up. It's so hot, I'm taking that out here. I don't want it to explode on me. That is red hot. It's as if it was shorted out. Oh. I think I should just throw this thing in the bin. 2 fires. Luckily, I sort of, yeah, It looks like it sort of popped there. I have no idea what's happened. I switched it on just a minute ago to check the lights. So I just switched the camera off, tidied this area a bit, and I was just about to switch it back on to say, good news, the lights work. And I switched it on and heard a pop, and the sound kit went, maybe the wires on that shorted out and it just done some damage to that ESC. The lights do work. I'm going to order another ESC. I've got a week, so the next scene you see is either this at the East event or me at the East event without this. Right, sled pull, cross RC, T-Rex. It'll set on fire or it'll break something, I reckon. I'm going to go slow. Ready? We'll go slow first. What's next? What sled pull? I'll bring it back for you. And back to the start line for you. There we go. Thank you very much. Big in it. Big truck. Big truck. That's in low gear. And that's in low, is it? Yeah.
Sounds nice.
Oh, that's quick. That's going to break something.
This thing is nuts. I'm going to save the mud for maybe later on. I'll give it a run first. I don't want to break it too soon. The top lights aren't working. Right, let's get this thing muddy. First gate. Right, here's some more mud. How deep do you reckon that is? We are going to find out. Yeah. Oh, this is getting hard to steer for me. Certainly not easy driving one-handed. But it looks so good with mud on it though. It's chasing you. Uh-oh, it's not going to stop. That's that pin gone. Yeah. No, I've got a strap in my pocket. So why did it catch fire twice. Well, after a little head scratching, I realised that when I replaced both the ESCs, this at the moment is not one of the replacement ones. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I replaced both the ESCs and I replaced them with these 8BL150s. You can actually program these. I didn't have the right program card. So I bought some Hobbywing ones thinking better quality. I've got a program card for them. But I made one fatal mistake. So you might just be able to see there. So that is the power line that goes to the receiver from the ESC. I disconnected that on this one because I'm using a BEC. Don't need power. Well, it turns out you don't need power from both ESCs. I still had one going. That did cause some issues that I'll talk about in a minute, but when I set these up, I disconnected one. When I swapped over to these, I forgot to disconnect the power. So when I switched it on, I had power from one side, power from the other, and power from the BEC, and I think it just was a little bit too much for it. Doesn't really explain why the sound kit went up, because I didn't have the BEC switched on. I'm pretty sure I only had one ESC switched on as well, so I don't know whether that was just something wrong with the sound kit, but I'm pretty sure that is why both of the quick run ESCs were destroyed, because when that did smoke, this is a replacement, but when the original one did go up in smoke, I did have it all connected. Pretty sure whatever it was that happened was 100% my fault. Unless there was an issue with the sound kit, I'll take the blame for both fires. And we were probably only seconds or minutes away from another fire at East, because on the first run, when I took the BEC LiPo out, it was properly puffed up as if it was just about to go up in flames. And after a bit of head scratching and speaking to some other guys there, we decided that I probably should disconnect the power from this ESC as well. I think it was this LiPo or that side. One of them was basically charging the BEC. It was backfilling the BEC. So I disconnected the power line from this ESC as well, and then on the next run, no issues, and longer run time as well. And yes, before you say it, and others have already said it, I was an aircraft electrician for 24 years. Piling through that mud was just so cool. If only it had lasted a little bit longer. So what's next for it? Well, I've spoken to Green's Models, that was the UK supplier, and they've got me a spare main shaft for the gearbox. I think they got me some extra gears as well. Because, I mean, I've not really spoke about it in this video, but I covered it a little bit in part 3. The gearbox is buried right down in there. All that's holding the gear onto the main shaft that goes out to the drive shafts front and rear is a tiny little M4 pin. And what's happening is when you're going slightly up an incline, if you kind of stop and then go again, or if it rolls back very slightly and you go again, it's got all that twisting torque and it's basically just shearing off that pin. It's not a great design having all that torque relying on that little pin, but the material of that pin is probably not great either. So my plan is to get these spares. I'm going to modify it. I'm either going to drill through and put a thicker steel pin in, or I'm going to send it off and get it maybe TIG welded, because there's some spaces between that gear and the next one. There's enough room. There's probably enough room to just weld it a little bit. But for now, I'm going to take this top plate off. I'm going to clean all the chassis up. I'm going to leave some of the mud on the top, but I'm going to clean the tyres, clean the chassis, get the gearbox out, and then look at my options for making it stronger. Then I'm going to swap out the electronics, motors and ESCs for the new Hobbywing Axe V3 system. But what I want to do is take the ESCs from under here and put them under the cab in front of where the motors sit. But to do that, I'm going to have to modify the cab so you can take it off from the top. The problem is, when I had the fire, you can't get in there. It's really awkward to get the cab off. So I'm going to modify it so it just fits on probably on the outside. And that means I can put the electronics inside there. And it means the V3 stuff, because it's got sensor cables and things, it'll be a little bit neater in there. So this is probably the last video you're going to see of this for a while. Definitely been a journey for me. I've enjoyed it. I've not enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it again. And now, well, now it's done. I mean, it is a disappointment, but I'm looking forward to making it better. And I'm also planning maybe a few other changes, so the next time you see it, it might not quite look like this. Right, come on then, you. Come on. Throwing my dog back.
Oh, no.
Give your prize for it!
Tanner, it's yours.
Break it again.
Yeah, same thing.